My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we're asking what's happening in your soul connection. Okay, so we're gonna look at your person's energy towards you. We're gonna ask what's happening, and then we're gonna look at how did the 88 portal impact upon your connection. If it is that you're not watching it around the 88 portal, you're gonna ask how the last full moon. We're kind of in the energies when I'm recording this. We're in the energies of the 88 portal still, and we're having the full moon. So you're gonna ask about the full. How did the full moon, the last full moon, impact upon your connection? And then we're going to look at what are you guys being called to heal at this time. And we're going to get some 3D messages from your person and end with some advice. And then we'll go into the extended and I'll explain what I'll go into in the extended. Just want to say, guys, thank you so much for all your beautiful blessings, healing energies, words. I do feel infinitely better, even though I may not sound like it. I think there's more in my morning voice though. So just bear with me. Okay. So let's see. We're getting a significator for your person's energy towards you right now. All right, we have the Griffin. And it is honor and good luck. And it's brown inside. So your person's getting really grounded. It's like, I feel like when you just kind of open your eyes one day and you suddenly realize some of the shit you've done. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling, but that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's like you're kind of seeing everything. It's like you got a reality check and you're grounded as F. You got a reality check and you realize that you just can't keep living the life that you have been living, because you're realizing that you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to hurt other people, and you have hurt yourself and you have hurt other people. That is the energy that I'm getting. That's what I'm getting with this. I'm getting the energy of a reality check, and it's that energy of, I know I can do better, so I'm going to be better. And that is this honor and good luck that I'm feeling there with this Griffin card. All right, let's look at their energy towards you. We have water. So very emotions are at their peak. Hell yeah. Full moon would do that, but then we also have the 88 portal. So, everything is at its height. So that's what I'm saying. This person, deep in their feels, deep in their emotions. I don't just think that it is towards you, but we're asking about you. So this is like King of Cups vibe, right? This is someone who is really stepping into emotional maturity, no longer being reactive and living their life out of their wounding. This is someone that's very much aware of what they need to do next, and how they need to live their life. I'm also hearing the words integrity. So that's really what I'm feeling from this card, right? Your person, it's like they're connecting with their emotional self, their emotional body, and they're kind of realizing, yeah, I've not been my best self. Let's pull 3 cards on that, guys. Yeah, I've just not been my best self. And underneath the deck, we have Temperance. Yeah, it's bringing yourself back into balance. Bringing yourself back into balance. You've been off the rails. We have the King of Wands in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Page of Wands in reverse. I feel like this Wheel of Fortune is at the end. I feel that is a progression. Yeah, and that's the energy that I was feeling. It is someone looking back on their life and seeing how they misused their power. Oh my goodness. I gotta read it for you guys just now. Yeah, how they misused their power, how they misused their privilege, because everybody has privilege. If you're female in body, there's particular privilege that comes with that. If you're male in body, there's particular privilege that comes with that. If you're black, if you're white, there's everybody has particular privilege, and your person's realizing that they abuse theirs. For some reason, I'm getting your person's quite sexy. I think they're very spiritually powerful and intuitive. I think they have a lot of vibrant energy in their sacral chakra. So I feel a very creative person. But I don't think they've been using this or they've been grounding this in the most high vibrational of ways, right? King of Wands in reverse tells you that. So we're talking about someone who may have even abused their physical power, because King of Wands in reverse is a warmonger. He's got anger issues. He's just looking for a fight all over the bloody place. It's someone whose sacral chakra is out of whack. So they're being man whole, woman whole, they whole, that kind of thing. But this is someone who wants to turn your life around. And especially, even if they are female in body, it is their masculine energy that's been out of whack. And it's so interesting because let me just read. I don't know, guys. I love this guy. That's on Instagram. He's just such a beautiful masculine. All right. Just now, let me get it. Let me not waste your time. Hold on. Right, so he used the word man in this story. But I am getting it is masculine. And so this message is not just about your counterpart, if they are masculine, but it's also about your own inner masculine, because I do believe right now the feminine energy, the DF, is being called to heal her inner masculine. Okay? Because your masculine outside of yourself is just a reflection of the masculine within yourself. So this is what he says about that. In order for a man, and I'm going to put, in order for masculine energy to confront their deepest shadows, they must first acknowledge the privileges they have inherited. Male privilege means I get to ignore and deny the pain that my unresolved mother and father wounds caused those around me, which is exactly what I was feeling with that, which is why I started reading this, right? The maturity of a man, or masculine energy, is dependent on his ability to take responsibility and hold himself accountable for how his wounds and repressed emotions affect those around him. An immature masculine shrinks responsibility and avoids accountability by fooling himself and others to believe that he is powerless against his destructive desires, helpless against his unprocessed emotions, and therefore permitted to project his disowned pain onto the world. And I thought that was just powerful. And then he says, privilege can also mean that I exist within a system that enables me to believe my needs are more important than the needs of others. For example, the needs of men are more important than women. The needs of white people are more important than persons of color. The needs of cisgendered men and women are more important than trans and gender non-conforming people. The needs of human beings are more important than the needs of animals. With each of these beliefs comes a system that promotes, validates, and encourages it. So acknowledging my privilege is being able to see how it not only hurts me, but harms others and prevents their empowerment. But privilege remains invisible to those who possess it. So as men, masculine energy, our maturation is reliant on our ability to allow our privilege to be made visible. If you still can't see it, think about this for a moment. In the 19th century, husbands would dispose of their wives by having them committed to insane asylums when they were done with them and wanted to find someone young to be with. Some of the reasons for admission into these insane asylums would include things like laziness, novel reading. Well, I would have ended up there a long time, right? Bad company, fits and desertion of the husband. It was the privilege of these husbands. It was the privilege these husbands inherited that allowed them to see their wives as property, and they still do. And there's still many philosophies that still treat women like chattel, right? And not only discard them in whatever way they felt fit, but also not be questioned or feel accountable for the harm they have caused. The divorce of masculinity from patriarchy requires a loss of entitlement and a disinheritance of the power we assume and impose over the lives of others. So just that sentence there tells you how difficult it is to relinquish your entitlement, to relinquish your privilege, because with it, you're just like everybody else, right? There's no one-upmanship. You're on equal footing with everybody else. And that's a kind of hard thing to give up if most of your life you felt entitled and you've gotten, or you've used that privilege in just, a very kind of wanton way. So this is someone who is changing their life, and they're changing their life by acknowledging their feelings. No longer running on patriarchal autopilot. This is someone that we're tapping into that's pretty much in a place of awareness. Okay? All right. So let us have a look at what's happening in your connection. We're literally going to ask that. But I do feel it is the healing of the masculine for both of you guys. It's about questioning your ideologies, the things that you've just inherently believed. All right. 8 of Swords in reverse, guys. Come on now, right? And that's exactly what 8 of Swords is all in reverse. It's all about. It's about shedding load. Shedding those ideologies that keep you trapped, that mindset that keeps you trapped, that keeps you in a lower vibration, that keeps you stuck, okay? It's those thoughts, programming, the things that you just taken for granted, all right? So all the messages kind of are syncing up. Okay, so let's see. All right, these cards are new, and this is the Unfolding Path Tarot, which is like, I feel it's exactly what's happening. It's like it's a new path and a new way of being unfolding. All right. So they're kind of sticky. If nothing comes out, then I'm gonna have to pull. But I don't like when they drop out. Okay. Anyways, we have the Magician in reverse. We have the 10 of Cups. We have the Death card. Yes, I do feel that. But I feel like I'm gonna leave it the way it came out, though. Let's leave it like that. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We have Judgment in reverse. So there's some powerful major arcana that's coming out. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Beautiful energies, guys, because it is the energy of transformation and change. Let's talk about you first, because you're the most important person in this reading. So it is the energy of healing the distorted masculine. Okay, we got that right off the bat, and that theme continues. We have the Magician in reverse. Now, when we have the Magician in reverse, talks about the abuse of your power. It talks about the abuse, especially of your spiritual power. Okay, but it also talks about using your spiritual power to manipulate or to force others to do your bidding. So whether you do that in a spiritual sense, well, like binding magic, that kind of thing, or whether you use your insights to gaslight and manipulate others into doing what you want them to do. This is what the Magician in reverse talks about, okay? So I'm getting for you, this is if you're watching this, most likely your divine feminine, whether you're male or female in body. So they're talking about healing this distorted masculine within yourself. And spirit say, but and this and magician in reverse also is also about disempowering yourself, giving your power away, whether it is giving your power away to a person, giving your power away to a habit, like me and my tarot cards, right? And I'm doing really well, guys. This is my first new deck in months, right? Giving your power away to tarot readings, even to Netflix, to your sexuality, whatever it is about calling back your power and realizing that nobody else is responsible for your happiness. With this 10 of Cups here, nobody else is responsible for your happiness, and you're not entitled to use your power to kind of manipulate a circumstance in order to be happy. You got to take back your power, and you got to change, okay? And whatever you've been giving your power away to, Spirit is asking you to shed load. Shed load, reclaim your power, do something different. So for a lot of you, I really got feedback that you guys felt like if you guys were going through a cycle or processing issues that you thought you had already dealt with, right? But it's just processing those issues on a higher level of consciousness and just really taking back your power for good. For good. So for some of you, it's about dysfunctional family patterns, okay? And really getting caught up in the toxicity that's inherent in your ancestral line. And as we're talking about that, on Sunday I'm launching a new service which is called Opening and Clearing the Family Tree, where we ask the ancestors if we can. If the ancestors say no, I'll refund you your money. We ask the ancestors permission to open the family tree, and we start by clearing the first 8 generations removed from you. So the first 8 generations just right before you, and your descendants, the generations after, clearing them from some kind of toxic family pattern. But it looks like you are already doing this clearing work by going through this transformation that you're going through at this time. It looks like you might have been resistant to this transformation because, with change there always comes sort of fear, because we lose our privilege, whether it is losing our privilege to be a victim. Because staying in victim is a privilege, right? We get to blame somebody else for our issues, right? So this is about, just waking up and surrendering completely to spirit, really co-creating with spirit. This is what I'm getting with this card. Really co-creating with spirit and making shit happen. Because that's what masculine energy does, right? It's the emperor. The emperor makes shit happen. The empress creates, but the emperor is all about action. And that's what we see here. This message from a person is them revisiting their toxic masculine traits. Toxic masculine traits that have kept them stuck, again, in patriarchal generational cycles of dysfunction. We see it here with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? So they've been giving their power away to family members, giving their power away to family philosophies, I'm getting. Okay, dysfunctional family philosophies, and keeping themselves stuck with this judgment card in reverse. And they're doing the same thing just like you. They're realizing that in order to be happy, they must move away from groupthink and think of their group, of their ancestry, and do something different. Do something different. And they feel like partnering with you, there's something about that that's going to be very different from the actions of their group and their tribe thus far. So this whole reading is about reclaiming your time, taking back your power from wherever you may have left it, whether you may have left it at some sort of traumatic experience, whether you've left it whilst you were in addiction, whether you abandon yourself in order to keep your DM close to you, or keep your partners close to you, or however you've been giving your power away, or however you've been trying to manipulate a situation. It is releasing that and just leaving it all to spirit, and just allowing spirit to guide you to change your whole life. It really is about releasing the toxic patterns of your ancestry. That's what I'm getting today. Your past, and then when you look deeper into your past, this is something that you guys have been battling with like for generations. That's what I'm getting here. Let me ask now, how has this last portal, and if you're not watching it near portal, how has this full moon impacted upon your connection? But you know, full moons are always about shedding load, right? They're always about shedding load, and you know they always make us dig deep into our emotions. So this is on point already. All right, so what we have here is karma. And karma is what is karma? Karma is the consequences of our actions, and they show up as lessons. They show up as lessons. So we've all been going through a lot of heavy lessons and really taking stock of where we're heading, the unfolding path, and where we've been. And really learning the lessons from this experience. Okay, so how has this full moon, the last portal, or the full moon and portal, how has it changed or impacted upon your connection? We have the heart chakra, and it definitely lines up with that water that we got right away. We have sexual chemistry. We have smelling your scent. And we have triggers. Yep. Makes a lot of sense, guys. So what has this full moon portal and portal done? Well, it looks like it's just like busted you guys' heart open. Okay, so all the emotions that you didn't want to face before, about your counterpart, about your life, about where you've been, it's all come to the fore. And it looks like the focus has been on the sacral chakra, and getting that sacral chakra into balance, and recognizing that sexual energy, sexual chemistry is not meant to be just be used wantonly, but it's meant to be intimate, and connect two souls, bring two souls together. That it is a token of love. A token of love. I mean, our world today, it's just been kind of devalued. But it looks like whatever you guys are doing, and for some of you guys are being abstinent. It's like you're reclaiming the sacredness that is connected to the sexual energy. For some of you, you're converting the sexual energy into something creative. Others of you, maybe you're going quite mad with thoughts of your counterpart. I do think that the psychic bond between you guys at this time is at a height. And for some of you, your person is definitely smelling your scent. They're having a lot of paranormal experiences. Maybe they're feeling you next to them, feeling you in the bed with them. And you might be having the same issues as well. But as much as there's all these beautiful experiences that are happening, there are also some heavy triggers. And they're meant to push you to really learn the lesson and really release the toxic patterns of the past. Really step into this transformation energy that is being illuminated for you at this time. Let's look at what are you guys being called to heal specifically, because it looks like there's a lot of healing that's being triggered here. What are you guys being called to heal? Self-harm. Oh no, and self-harm could definitely be suicidal ideation. It could be self-harm in terms of cutting yourself, whatever it is. But self-harm is even broader than that. It is doing things that abandon the self or put you at some sort of risk. At some sort of risk. So, going back into all the old patterns of the past, settling for less than you deserve, not loving yourself completely, all these things, self-harm, because you are not making decisions with your best interest at heart. Could be overeating, whatever it is, falling back into some sort of addiction. Okay, all these are harming the self. Okay, all right. So divine feminine is going to be here. I just pulled 2 cards. Divine masculine is here. And remember, whatever is there for the masculine is also there for your inner masculine as well. All right, what is the feminine being called to heal at this time? So both of you guys being called to shed all patterns of the past that harm you or don't honor the self, right? Feminine, we have addictions, okay? And it's related to parents or guardians. So for some of you watching, you share an addictive or toxic or codependent pattern with a parent, or might be both your parents, okay? So you have to identify exactly what that is, okay? Both my parents were hoarders in different ways, and they would both accuse each other of being hoarders, right? I too have that pattern. I can get into patterns of collecting shit, which is exactly what I was doing with the tarot cards. But that's just one of many. I collect brooches, right? I used to have a stamp collection, coin collection. I was definitely a collector. And I know it comes from a lifetime of being an antiquarian. I know this, but it's not the path I'm meant to walk in this lifetime. And it really just clutters your space. So that's why I've really pulled the reins back on that little tarot collecting spree that I was on. Okay, so I know I share that with them. I collect art, so many different things, right? But it is just coming from a place of a lack. So you have to identify there's an addiction that you share with your parent or parents. You have to identify they want you to focus and confront that particular issue. What else? Now, this could also be your parent was in addiction in some particular kind of way, and it looks like there might be wounds still connected to living with that person in addiction that you really need to confront. When your parent is in addiction, it's really an unstable environment, okay? And it also kind of rewires your brain and rewires your nervous system. So that could be what you're being called to heal as well, okay? What else is the feminine being called to heal? We have misuse of spiritual gifts. Okay, and that came out before with that magician in reverse. So some of you watching, you've been misusing your spiritual gifts. Now, it could definitely be maybe you've been dabbling in binding magic, love spells, that kind of thing, or trying to impose your will onto someone else's free will in some particular kind of way. There's definitely that. But there's also that other thing that I was thinking, that I was telling you guys about, where you're using your natural perceptive gifts to try and manipulate a situation to your advantage. Okay? Misusing the downloads that you're getting to kind of mold your person, or try to navigate or try to direct the course of a particular situation. This is also misuse of your spiritual gifts. Okay? What is the masculine being called to heal right now? We have unsteady finances. So we're talking about lack mentality. Okay? So maybe a person have been, deep in workaholism, or maybe they're also a hoarder, right? Maybe they're also a hoarder. Maybe they're staying in some kind of toxic situation because of financial entanglements, or they're afraid they're not going to be able to go it alone, that kind of thing. They're being called to heal that and to really trust spirit and the universe, and know that the universe is abundant and that they will be provided for. We also have ritualistic abuse. Now, every time I see that, I always think about either religious or spiritual abuse, where someone has been using your person's spiritual or religious beliefs against them. Now, it could be stuff that they were told as a child that they're still holding on to, but it's an abandonment of self. Or it could be right now there's someone in their environment, could be a parent, could be a family member, could be a spouse that's using their religious beliefs against them. So whether it is those kind of till death do us part kind of vows, or obey a mother and father, or every time they want to maybe break free or they want to do something, somebody has a religious quote that kind of knocks them back into line kind of way. Your person, this is what they are being called to transmute at this time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this in the extended to the extended, and in the extended we're going to look at what your person is thinking and feeling about you at this time. We're going to look at what's happening in your person's immediate environment. We're going to get some messages, 3D messages from your person. We're going to look at their next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. And then we're going to get a message from the ancestors for guidance, okay? But if you can't join me next time, this is going to be the advice. Spirit is saying, believe in miracles, because there's a miracle that's about to unfold for you right now. There's a lot of energetic support that you are receiving at this time. I think both you and your person. So the card here is the facade, okay? And the facade is the mask that we wear, and it's usually a mask that we usually get from the father energy or the masculine energy that wasn't present in our life when we were growing up. And for some of you, that might have been your mother who had to take on a masculine role. And masculine energy, or the emperor, teaches you how to conduct yourself in society. Okay? The empress, she's created this child, and then the masculine form, or the masculine function, teaches you how to conduct yourself in the society. Unfortunately, part of that teaching thus far, right, before this age of enlightenment, is basically showing you how to act right in public. And that means kind of holding your real self back and, being polite at all times, saying good morning, all these are beautiful things. But there's some things that we teach children that is a denial of self and a denial of natural instincts, and put them in harm's way. So you're being asked right now to shed the facade. Shed the things that are not you. Shed the things that no longer resonate with you. Shed the things that you're just realizing was a lie. Or maybe it was true for your parents and grandparents, but it's not part of your truths. You're being asked to shed load. Okay? All right, my loves. So that was your reading. If you can join me in extended, please do so. Otherwise, take care. Much love.